Hi everyone. Welcome to the CY 500 Cybersecurity Overview course. This is Module 2, Building a Secure Organization. Therefore, this week's learning outcome centers on computing power and complexity, Internet and Intranet securities, and Internet of Things security. Our objective in getting after these outcomes is to understand the intricacies of developing a cybersecurity plan that identifies an organization's critical information systems, accounts for a robust and rigorous threat assessment and risk assessment, institution and deployment of cybersecurity tools, and developing and enhancing cybersecurity mitigation, and monitoring within an enduring cybersecurity awareness organizational culture. Now, let us begin. The topics for this week's lecture are identifying the critical information systems, developing a cybersecurity plan, analyzing the existing or known threat and potential ones, evaluating the associated risk assessment and residual ones, developing a dynamic mitigation plan, and articulating the recovery and monitoring strategies. We will start to discuss them in details, starting with identifying the critical information systems in a said organization. Critical information systems. In Module 1, we discuss the essence of alignment of technology, people, and processes to secure an organization's critical information systems. Discussing the critical information system is potent because it is almost impossible to protest all systems at the same degree since our resources are not unlimited. This does not mean ignoring some systems. It simply means that we will be judicious and strategic in deploying our cybersecurity capabilities to maintain the CIA triad of confidentiality, integrity, and availability. Moreover, our capacity to identify our critical information system will help us preserve the Parkerian hexad, which is confidentiality, integrity, availability, authenticity, possession, and utility. While the CIA triad is common and well understood by cybersecurity practitioners and scholars, the Parkerian hexad is not. Some think adding authenticity, possession, and utility to the CIA triad is not warranted. Others believe it is poorly understood. For that reason, let me use a few seconds to briefly explain the concepts of authenticity, possession, and utility. Authenticity here refers to the assurance of the authorship or creation of data or information using a digital signature or similar tool. It is important not to confuse authenticity with authentication. Possession is an assurance of maintaining physical control of the information asset because not having such is a breach, even if the attacker cannot access or change the data. Although the data would not be available, it is not available in the sense of the CIA triad because the availability is not network related but a denial of physical possession of the asset. The utility is an assurance that the data or information will not lose its usefulness by an intentional or intentional act. Coming back to critical information systems, while everyone talks about critical information systems, we assume it is easy to identify the essential systems. The truth is that it is not. Therefore, I would use the critical path analogy from project management to explain what would account for an organization's critical information systems. Because scope, cost, and time or scheduling are essential to project management, the critical path to a project is tasks and dependencies, without which the project will be deemed incomplete in a given cost and time. Therefore, in a cybersecurity context, critical information systems are those systems or assets without which an organization will be unable to maximize shareholders' value and profit. Cybersecurity plan. Availing of updated security systems. An effective cybersecurity plan should include investing and deploying basic cybersecurity capabilities. It should consist of the systems and their deployment plans. Firewalls and firewall management. Intrusion detection systems. Appropriate security incident and event management, SIEM, systems. Appropriate automated security monitoring and alert orchestration systems. Appropriate spam filters and anti-phishing. Access control, identity and access management and privileged access management. Application of strong passwords and two-factor authentication policies. Encryption strategy. The strategy encompasses, among other things, having the right mix of crypto tools. Finally, consideration of organization and personal smartphone security software should be a consideration. For internal stakeholder collaborations, every effort should be made to ensure that the cybersecurity professionals and other personnel and teams in the organization, finance department, legal, training, human resources, and other departments should be prepared collectively. Every actor in the incident response team should have a predetermined role, and a cyclic rehearsal should be part of the strategy. Meaningful training for all employees with use cases should be part of the mix. Adapting a working and established framework is crucial because it is essential to cybersecurity risk management. It necessitates governance across the organization, which involves people, technologies, and processes. Awareness of threat intelligence is instrumental and A+ for an organization. The ability of cybersecurity professionals to recognize the signs of an attack and the tactics, procedures, and techniques they use is indicative as predetermined indicators as a reference. Awareness of regulations, policies, and directives, as well as their associated liabilities, is crucial. Of course, conducting an adequate risk assessment is imperative and instrumental in the mitigation process. Preparation, detection, proper analysis, containment, eradication, and recovery capacity are essential in an incident response. Threat assessment. Threat assessment involves the following: identifying potential problems or shortfalls in the organization's implementation of the applicable risk management framework, identifying security and privacy-related weaknesses and deficiencies in the system and the environment in which the system operates, prioritizing risk response decisions and their associated risk response activities, working and confirming the identified security and privacy-related weaknesses and deficiencies in the system and the operation environment have been addressed, supporting the monitoring activities and information security and privacy situational awareness, facilitate all types of system authorization decisions, making informed budgetary decisions and ensuring an effective capital investment process. Risk assessment. The National Institute of Standards and Technology describes risk assessments as the potential adverse impacts to organizational operations and assets, individuals, other organizations, and the economic and national security interests of the United States, arising from the operation and use of information systems and the information processed, stored, and transmitted by those systems. This definition is applicable to other nations around the world. This means developing an information security architecture, defining the interconnection requirements for information systems, i.e., systems supporting mission, business processes, and shared infrastructure and support services. Designing security solutions for information systems and environments of operation, including selecting security controls, information technology products, suppliers, supply chains, contractors, and contract supports. Authorizing or denying the authority to operate information systems or to use security controls inherited in the commercial off-the-shelf system, which is the standard controls. Modifying or altering mission, business functions, or business processes until a newly discovered threat or vulnerability is addressed or after a compensating control is replaced. Assessing and implementing security solutions for suitable information technology products and ensuring system configurations meet established standards and requirements. Ensuring a robust operation and maintenance of security. Our discussion on the mitigation plan centers on risk assessment. Risk assessment involves assessing vulnerability associated with your critical information systems in terms of the likelihood of an attack and the severity if there is an attack. Network access controls. Network access controls involve establishing access controls to deter or impede malicious and non-malicious insider threats. Firewalls and antivirus software. Installation and promptly updating firewalls and antivirus software. Updating patches. Ensuring that the most current and available software and hardware patches are updated. Effectively monitoring network track for anomalies. Incident response plan. An incident response plan ensures continuity of operation because the incident response team will know who they are and their roles, including the complete awareness of the recovery plan. Physical security. Ensuring that physical security is part of the overall strategy because it is as important. Surface attacks. Plan against surface attacks in terms of physical, digital, and with social engineering. Surface attack refers entry point vulnerabilities. Recovery strategy. Our discussion on recovery will center on preparation, detection, analysis, containment, eradication, recovery, and maintenance. Recovery must ensure the timely restoration of capabilities or services affected by the cyber events. The recovery or continuity of operation book should include the procedures and phases or stages and well-defined exit criteria for each phase, such as notification of key stakeholders. The specific technical processes and procedures that are expected to be used during recovery should not be in doubt because they must be well documented. Now, go forth and do great things for your organization and yourself. See you in Module 3.